Hello everyone! Welcome back to another 3v3 battle on a custom map, the Sarl Encampment. A lot of units on the field here, so I'm going to try and leave the flags on so it's easier to tell what is what. But I am deployed mostly here on the right side. My Dwarven other ally is deployed in the middle, and then we have Wurzag leading a bunch of Savage Orcs over here on the left side. To go over my army real quick, in the middle I have a Flame Cannon, also a Goblobber, sending over a group of Dragonback Slayers to cover these two. And that's what's going on in the middle for me. Over here, facing off against the Vampire Count player, I have a front line of Dwarf Warriors, including the Warriors to Dragonfire Pass, and also the group of Norgrimling's Ironbreakers. They are being led by Thorgrim Grudgebearer, also with a Runesmith and two Thanes behind him. The Grumbling Guard, then back here we also have the Peak Gate Guard with their magical damage. Not saying that that may come into play, but, you know, they have magical damage. We also have one group of Rangers with great weapons, and then an Iron Drake with Trollhammer torpedoes, Ekron Miners with blasting charges, and a group of Quarrelers. This battle was fought with increased money. I think up to 17,000 maybe, instead of 12,400, I think. Over here in the main dwarf line, you can see Dwarf Warriors. We have a couple of the Thunderers kind of hitting or sitting in the entranceway. Iron Drakes, they are being led by another Thorgrim Grudgebearer. We also have Hammers back here, and also Longbeard, and then an Ironbreaker back here. They also brought an Organ Gun and a cannon, I believe. Yes. And this cannon, did they bring two Organ Guns? Oh, they did. I didn't even notice that. Two Organ Guns and a cannon. This cannon is about to fire on a couple of Hellstorm rocket batteries, which are now hitting our Dwarven allies front line. And again, as I said, Wurzag is leading a bunch of Savage Orcs, including the Ragnarok Spider. I can just press play. This is a long battle. We also have two Gyrocopters. I think they're both normal. Yeah, both normal Gyrocopters. This Goblin Wolf Rider was deployed out here in the forest. In the beginning of this battle, they went over here to scout out the enemy position. They discovered these goblins in hiding, so they did that much, and then they're going to die. But over here, the Vampire Count player split their forces in two. We have two Cairn Race, two Hex Race over here, and then we get to the Empire player who brought two Pistoliers, two Empire Knights, two Hellstorm Rocket Batteries, five Crossbowmen in total. They have two Wizards, a Celestial Wizard and a Bright Wizard, then two Riflemen, and then a bunch of swords being led by Karl Franz. The Greenskin player is being led by Azhag the Slaughterer on top of their Dragon Mount. We have multiple Goblins over here, Nasty Skulkers, and then the Warlord's Boys and the Immortals. We also have a Night Goblin Shaman sitting back here, a couple Trolls, the Goblin Rock Lobber, the Ragnarok Queen. Then over here we have a couple of Squigs, Squig Herds, and then Squig Herds, and then Orc Borboy Riders. This is what I'm trying to say. Giant, then Orc Biggins, Black Orc, and Goblin Archers. The rest of the Vampire Count player sitting way over here, and is going to be over here for quite a while. We have a front line of Cairn Race. We have a Vargulf, the Claw of Nagash, the Black Coach, which you don't see often. And they're being led by Manfred von Karstein and with a Banshee Escorts. So I'm going to be pulling some of my forces over in this area to assist the front gate, let's call it. Because seeing what I have here and seeing what they have over there, I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure we're going to be okay. The Peak Gate Guard has magical damage, so they can crush the Cairn Race, and we just have a lot of nastiness over here. So my attention is going to be mostly focused over here at the front line, which is still being assailed by those Hellstorm rocket batteries that the cannon is trying to take out, and these Wolf Riders I think also made a pass at him, as well as these Gyrocopters, which are currently being chased out by Azhag the Slaughterer. So I'm going to pull more forces over here. We have our Dragonback Slayers, we have our two cannons, including the Flame Cannon, and then I'm now pulling over the Ekron Miners, because the Miners, their blasting charges, like, they're really not going to do much against the army that's sitting over here. So I'm like, let's just move them over to where they'd be more useful, maybe against the Greenskin or the Empire player. Speaking of the Empire player, they are moving their our Cav and their Pistoliers over here, and I'm going to be moving my the Goblobber to try and get it in range of hitting these Knights and Pistoliers, because I can't hit the other Imperial troops because they're too far away, and I didn't want to leave the Sarl encampments because to get in range I had to be about like right here, and I was like, I'd rather not get hit by Hellstorm rocket batteries, so I'm just going to withdraw my Goblobber over to around here, I think, and then start hitting the Cav forces over here. And again, this is a long battle. There, a lot of exchange of artillery fire is going to be happening. But with the help of the Gyrocopters and this cannon, they are bringing down these Hellstorm rocket batteries. So that's good. You can see that crew was sent off, and I'm sure they'll come back. And not much exciting is going to happen for a little bit other than this kind of exchange of artillery fire, but I wanted to show it. So let's fast forward a little bit. Is that actually going to make it? Yeah, that makes it faster. Sometimes when there's so many units on the field, like fast forwarding doesn't actually fast forward at all. It just does nothing. So yeah, the Savage Orc player is going to be sitting over here. I'm just going to be patient over here with Thorgrim. Now, there is no reason that these enemies have to attack us in this Sarl encampment. There is no point here that's going to win us the game if we, hold on. That's going to win us the game if we have control of it, because this is a custom map. But, you know, if people are playing custom maps like this, they're probably playing it to have fun and realizing that the people who are in the, you know, whatever fortified position is, are the defenders and they are the attackers. So there you go, we had a quick charge of the Hex Race there, but they're going to be turned out by the Longbeards and, well, all the Dwarf forces over here. Put my Dragonback Slayers close, because I was going to try and take out try to help take out the Hex Race, but it didn't happen. And here we go, we have the Bright Wizard moving all the way up here to cast a Flaming Skull. I'm assuming they cast that when the Bright Wizard was, like, back here, thinking that there was going to hit some doors, but the door was moved, and they just forgot to cancel the spell. So we have a nice path of fiery snow, I guess melted snow is what that would be. Water basically is now, well, I guess that would evaporate. We have nothing here, okay? There's just nothing there anymore. This is the Flame Skull burning away. Over here, you can see my Goblobber is just taking out these Pistoliers. Not the best target to take out, but it's in range, and I wanted to hit something that wasn't a Hex Wraith. So, yeah, just gonna hit the Pistolier. I think we hit the other Pistolier, and then I'm going to start hitting these Empire Knights when they finally come into position. You can see the Karen Race slowly making their approach, which is kind of risky, but let him do it. Karl Franz, for some reason, is sitting in front of a firing line. Not entirely sure. I think he's going to get pulled out soon. But I think Azak is actually going to come in to fight. I think he's going to land at the group of Thunderers, and I'm going to try and run in my Dragonback Slayers here. I'm also moving my Flame Cannon, which was positioned here, and I'm moving it all the way over here to get a better angle on this way and this way for whenever the fight actually starts. But you can see we have an organ gun position sitting right here. It should be firing at Karl, but it looks like it was obstructed. So these Thunderers are going to be getting a lot of damage because these Longbeards are not going to help them. So that's why I'm trying to run in my Dragonback Slayers, but Aztag is going to see this and they're going to withdraw from the Thunderers there and make out alive. The Goblin crew has made it up to a position where it's just going to be just out of sight of our forces, so we have no idea that they are there. Of course, we can see the Trolls, though. Crossbows is slowly moving up to try and get in range of the Dwarven forces. Meanwhile, on my front, it's just a staring contest, you know. Miles just drawing like a little happy face here because like nothing is happening over here. Wait. Oh, okay, they're starting to move up. Okay, so we're about to have our battle here soon-ish. Meanwhile, over here, the Empire Knights and the Karen Race are going to charge into the Savage Orc line, which is being supported by archers back here with the Orc Arrow Boys. A lot of Orc Arrow Boys, actually, which I'm not used to seeing. But they're going to be over here, and the Karen Race and the Hex Race, Karen Race, and also the Empire Knights are going to be able to get through these Savage Orcs soon. So I'm going to be withdrawing our Goblobber here relatively quickly because I can see that the Savage Orcs are falling under the terror of the Hex Race. So I think, yeah, there we go. We're moving over there. In the front, I don't think anything is happening quite yet. So I'm bringing over my Dragonback Slayers to try and assist the battle that's happening out here. These Savage Orcs are about to get hit again by some Imperial Knights. There are Pistoliers nearby. You can see a counter charge from these Orc Boar Boy Biggins into the Hex Race and the Karen Race. But these Wraith units, if you don't have magical damage, they can tank out a lot. You can see the Empire Knights kind of forcing their way to try and get into these Orc Arrow Boys and the Night Goblin Archers that are also back here. And again, I'm trying to get my Slayers over here, and I think I'm also moving my Ekron Miners over here as well. And then my battle is about to start over here against the Karen Race and Manfred von Karstein. So I guess we'll watch this. I don't think much is happening at the front gate. Not yet. Except for this. Obviously, this is going down. But it's kind of looking like it's in our favor because we still have a lot of units over there. So anyway, back over here, I was going to pull out my Rangers with Great Weapons to assist the front gate, but I'm going to pull them back over here now that the enemy is charging our position. You can see my Iron Drake Troll Hammer Torpedoes going down on the Black Coach, which is going to run straight to them. My Quarrelers, I think I'm going to be targeting the Black Coach and then the Vargulf when he gets in range. You can see the Norgrimmy Ironbreaker storing at the Satchel Charges. Doesn't really do too much to the Karen Race, but, you know, it's some kind of damage. So now we have a front line holding back all these Karen Race. The Peak Gate Guard is going to do what it can against them with their magical damage. More Ascension, or the Claw Nagash is a high priority. But right now I'm really worried about this Black Coach that's just running back in my lines. I was trying to pin it down with the Hero Squad, but obviously it's too fast. It's going to wrap around all the way over here. My Hero Squad is going to go over here to fight against the Vargulf, which is now hitting my Iron Drake Torham with torpedoes. But I'm also going to try to pull out Runesmith. I'm moving up here to support the front line with their buffs, which should be dropping soon. Also with the Rune of Wrath and Ruin. Pulling back these two Dwarf Warriors because they had nobody to fight, so I wanted a second line in case something else broke through, because I wanted to try and protect my Quarrelers and the Rangers with great weapons, which again are going to be hitting in the back from this Black Coach. Meanwhile, over here, the Empire Knights and the Hex Race are slowly dying to the Dragonback Slayers and the overwhelming forces of the Greenskin and Savage Orc player. In the front over here, also, we have Azak the Slaughterer now attacking the front gate against the Dwarves with their Goblin crew, and you can see the Giant is coming over here, and the Arachnoid Queen is coming over here, so I want to really help that out as quickly as I can, and my Flame Cannon was shooting into the Empire Knights over here, and I'm going to have it divert its attention over to the front gate. Meanwhile, over here, we are still dealing with the Vargulf and the Black Coach, which is now being pinned down by my Hero Squad. You can see the two Thanes are going at it, as well as Thorgrim Grudgebearer, and the Vargulf is over here just getting killed by the Quarrelers, and also some shots from the Iron Drake Torpedoes. Anyway, whoa, Runesmith just got sent flying. So, slowly but surely, we are taking out their key units here. The Black Coach has just fallen, and now we're going to put all of our efforts into taking out this Vargulf, including with the Rangers with great weapons, so this thing is going to fall quickly. So now all that's left is going to be the Claw of Nagash. The Can Race are slowly dying just because we do have magical damage nearby, so that's not good for them. They took a lot of damage from the Peak Gate Guard, who I now just withdrew from that fight. I'm not entirely sure why, to be honest, but anyway, they dealt some damage. We have the Runesmith over here. Thorgrim Grudgebearer is going over here against the Claw of Nagash. I think the Rangers with great weapons are going to be firing into the Claw of Nagash, as well as the Iron Drake Trollhammer Torpedoes and the Quarrelers. A lot going on. Meanwhile, on the front gates, the Goblin Greenskin forces are piercing through, but my Flame Cannon, along with the Iron Drakes, I think, yeah, the Iron Drakes of the my allied Dwarf player are going to be peppering this Greenskin invasion of the front gate. Actually, I don't think my Flame Cannon is in range. Should be firing here very soon. I want to catch it firing because you don't see the Flame Cannon. There we go, there we go. Kill those Gobos! Yes! Yes! You never see the Flame Cannon. By the way, my fight over at the other gate, that's basically wrapped up. There's not much left to them. Much rather just watch the Flame Cannon. Run, you Goblin Filth! Over the rock! Oh. Not over the rock! So anyway, my fight now is all but wrapped up, so I'm going to start slowly sending my units across the battlefield into the main gate, and then eventually everybody is going to be sending. You see the Can Race now falling. Manfred is outclassed at this point and outnumbered, so we're going to be withdrawing over here to fight against these Greenskins. Now you can see these Squig Herds and the Orc Boy Biggins are piercing the front line. There's not enough Dwarves here to cover this massive opening right here. And here comes like a second wave with the Orc Biggins now that the Goblins have taken the brunt of the damage over here. Meanwhile, the Empire player, what swordsman they have left here, is going to be assaulting the second part of the front gate. But again, one Dwarf player is trying to hold off two players at this point. They're doing a pretty good job of it as well. Enemy Lord is dead. I'm not... Oh, that's Manfred. Manfred just fell. Over here at the Savage Orc side, you can see that the enemy attack has been repelled, and for whatever reason, they're not really moving their forces at this point. Wurzag is, though, so I guess that's all that really matters. Flame Cannon is still firing into... actually, I guess into the Empire troops at this point now. Beautiful Flame Cannon. Also, beautiful friendly fire. Squig Herd dealt with some of the Thunderers over here, and now they're coming into the back to get into the Iron Drakes and the squishy Dwarven bits over here, including the Organ Gun, and they're going to be able to threaten my Field Gun, of which I do have Dragonback Slayers, and I am moving my Ekron Liners up here as well to try and support the fight at the main gate. And you can see the rest of my forces are going to be moving up through this pass to try and support against the Greenskin player. Because my Dwarven ally, you can see they are having a mass rout here at the front line because they have just been taking so much enemy fire from all of these crossbows back here and these riflemen. And, you know, Karl Franz has not helped the situation out at all. Also, the fact that they have been split up into two forces. So, these two players were held off for a while from our Dwarven ally, but they are eventually going to... I think that was a friendly fire. Oh, no, that was from Wurzag. But they are going to overwhelm our Dwarven ally. The Savage Orcs should be not moving at all, actually. They're just gonna hang out for the most part, I guess. I don't know why, but they are. So now my Flame Cannon is under threat, but I am going to get a couple more rounds into these Night Goblins, or at least try, including with our Goblobber, putting the Ekron Miners in front of the Flame Cannon to provide support. And then my Dragonback Slayers are somewhere. They're in the battle already. That's what's happening. I think I had them attack the Squig Herd initially, but now they're caught up with these Orc Biggins. You can see the Arachnoid Queen's just going to come right in. We're going to hit her in the face with some Flame Cannons. Because why not? Let's just hit her in the face. Meanwhile, the rest of what is left of my army is going to set up right here to try and absorb this attack from the Orc Boy Biggins. The Giant's going to be coming up this way that I'm going to be hitting with the Quarrelers, which are back in here. In fact, I think they're already firing on it at this point. Luckily for me, the Arachnoid Queen is going to take some time to try and deal with these Ekron Miners, allowing my Flame Cannon to just shoot it in the side. Honestly, though, the Flame Cannon is still aiming at these Orc Biggins back here. It's just the Queen is so big that she's taking some of the shots. I'm not actually aiming at her, as you can see. Like, I wanted to shoot these things. So now we're going to try and pull out of this situation because the Queen is, you know, in our face, and she's going to be attacking us. The Greenskin player is pushing up into the base at this point. The Empire player actually is almost totally crushed himself. That was a very expensive trade they had off with the Dwarf. So there's really not much left of them. The Savage Orc player, still just kind of hanging out, which I find very weird, but okay. So they're just hanging out. My forces, again, are going to be lining up right here to try and deal with the rest of the Greenskin army. Flame Cannon is getting a lot of good kills here, but now is getting eaten alive by these two Squid Curs, which just don't have enough forces over here to take out at this point. Also, Azag is coming in, and they're going to be able to finish off my Ekron Miners over here. Meanwhile, on this side, we're dealing with the remains of the Goblin forces, including more Orc Biggins. The Night Goblin Shaman is over here, and we're going to engage them with our Dwarf Warriors. We're getting our Iron Breakers up here and our Peak Gate Guard, including our Hero Squad with Thorgrim Grudgebearer. And the Giant, again, should be assaulted by the Quarrelers. Yeah, so the Quarrelers are firing into this Giant and just doing some good damage there. Now here come the Trolls, and I believe the Orc Warlord Biggins are going to come in. The Trolls going to come in, and we're taking fire from these Goblin Archers down there as well. My Flame Cannon and Goblobber, along with my Ekron Miners, are all being wrapped up by Aztec, the Slaughterers, Squig Herds, and the Night Goblin Fanatics over there. Or not Fanatics, but the Warlord's Boys, or the Immortals. I can't remember which one that is. But my main concern right now is going to be here at this main gate, trying to deal with these two Trolls and this Giant coming up. But again, we have a very solid Hero Squad with the two things protecting Thorgrim, and that's a very powerful squad to deal with. Back here, we're also being supported by the Rangers' Great Weapons, which just ran out of ammunition. And then finally, it looks like the Savage Orcs are going to move their forces up to the front gate, which is where the only battle is left. I have a unit back here. I left Dwarf Warriors behind. Oh my god. I'm such a noob. But anyway, the Trolls are also taking a lot of Quarreler fire because they're sitting right next to the Giants, so they are about to break due to morale because you can see the power bar is in our favor. But they are kind of pushing through my front line here. All that's left between them and my Quarrelers is going to be this one group of Grumbling Guard who is still alive in the Peak Gate Guard, who are trying to stop the Arachnoid Queen and the Giant. You can see we have even more Orc forces coming in. The Orc Biggins and Black Orcs are now coming in, along with those Goblin Archers still down there. And the Night Goblin Shaman and Azag are both in the area. Azag is going to land, I think, on our Quarrelers, along with the Arachnoid Queen. But they are almost out of ammunition at this point, so it's not a total loss. They have done a lot of damage to the Giant, who I think is running or is dead. Is dead. The Giant is now dead. He was focused down by the Quarrelers and our Hero Squad, so now they are coming back here to deal with Azag and what is left of the Arachnoid Queen, because she had a lot of damage dealt to her when she was over here. And now you can see their leadership is currently breaking. That is from the Norgling's Iron Breakers, which are buried in here, just throwing their Savage Charge out of these Orc Biggins, charging us down. But you can see the Savage Orcs are finally getting to the battle. We have some reinforcements over here helping what's left of our Dwarf Warriors. The Arachnoid Queen is now running. I was hitting her with the Trollhammer torpedoes right there. And now I think I'm going to be shooting at Azag. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just going to follow the Queen. I'm not entirely sure. You see Thorgrim trying to chase her down as well. I think I pull him back and try and deal with Azag, who's now surrounded by the Grumbling Guard. In the rest of the battle, we have Orc Cav out here that was just kind of terrorizing what was remaining of the Imperial soldiers. My miners routed all the way out here, so I'm going to try and pull them back along with our Goblobber. And apparently, what was left of the Dwarf and the Savage Orcs, Cav, was able to rout the remaining forces of the Empire player, which was, you know, good on them. But over here, against the remains of Azag, he is dealing some damage to our Warriors Dragon Fire Pass, but they're holding him in place so that our Hero Squad is going to get in there. We also are finding some Orc Biggins back here, but the Iron Breakers are nearly untouched, so they're going to be able to hold that line for a long time. My Trollhammer torpedoes are going off here to try and finish off the Arachnoid Queen, who's just kind of sitting back here, but she is going to reroute, and then the enemy army is going to rout for good, leaving only the immortal Night Goblins over here dealing with Warzag and the Arachnoid Queen. So you can see what remains of the Greenskins are now going to run away from the Sarl encampment. Like, for 10 minutes, not much was really happening, but then those final 10 minutes were pretty hectic. We had battles at all three gates, and then, of course, the main push that got pretty deep. They got into here. But, you know, we did have this whole Savage Orc army just kind of sitting back here still, so... Like, my army was kind of torn up at this point. Kind of. We still had a pretty solid Ironbreaker unit. We had our hero squad, but you know, we were out of ammunition for most of our ranged, and we only had a few hit points left on the Grumbling Guard. So we were kind of near the end of our forces. Our Dwarven ally obviously took a big hit trying to defend this gate against two armies, so they took massive casualties. And there you go, the Immortals that were sitting right here are finally going to break. Savage Ark, though, they still had quite a few left. But yeah, good game to everyone involved. The Sarl Encampment I think I enjoy more than the Brass Keep, because apparently, or at least it looked like these buildings blocked line of sight as far as I could tell. Maybe I missed it, but in any case, it's still just a kind of this wide open area. I like that the front gate is also a pretty wide area, and then there's also two other entrances as well, so I don't know, I like when the enemy assault has a chance. You know, it's not just this one choke point they have to go up. They have, you know, different options. It's a huge map, so if you want to, you can actually just march out from the Sarl Encampment and have battles out here, because it's a huge map. And yeah, I just like the layout of these little, you know, buildings kind of scattered around, so you can do, you know, fighting in between the buildings, little mini choke points here and there. I don't know, I think it's a pretty cool map, so I enjoyed this one more than the Brass Keep, and I hope you enjoyed that battle, everybody, and I will see you all in the next episode. Oh, yeah, wait, I'm sorry. We gotta look at kills. Ha! I almost got kill count. Jesus. Alright, so the Hero Squad did pretty good. Warriors Trying Fire Pass did pretty good. The Dragonback Slayers, Ironbreakers did great. Peak Gate Guard did amazing. 169 kills for the Flame Cannon is great. And then Goblobber got a lot of kills as well. For my ally Chief Hoon, the Savage Orc, 68 kills for Warzag is kind of nuts. Savage Orc, Boy Biggins, they were the ones that were out there terrorizing what remained of the Empire players, so they did really well. 71 kills here, 101 on this Biggin is amazing. Then for my Dwarven ally, Fevered Gills, who held the front line against two people, 104 kills for Thorgrim, 61 for the Thane. Holy crap, look at these kills. 100 kills for the Organ Gun, 24 kills in Gyrocopter, 68 here, that's really good. So yeah, good job holding the line as long as you could. For Unknown, 98 kills on Aztec the Slaughterer, 72 on this Nasty Skulker, 100 kills on the 8-Peak Loonies, what the hell? 100 kills on the Squeaker, the Squeaker did really well, she did really well. Rock Lobber, 180 kills, is like all good amount of kills there. For the Undead player here, Vampire Count, Manfred netted 44 kills before he died. Hex Race did pretty good. The Cairn Race did kind of okay here and there, but they didn't really have much of a chance going up against my army there on the side. They just didn't have enough numbers at that point when they engaged me. And then for the Empire player, 67 kills on Carl was pretty nice. The Hellstorm Rocket Battery got shut down by Gyrocopters, by Goblin Wolf Riders, and by the Dwarven Cannon, so they weren't actually able to get too much done. The Empire Knights got a decent amount of kills, and then the Crossbowmen and Handgunners kind of tore up the Dwarven front line that went after them, so good job there. So good game to all involved. Again, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time, everybody. Take care.